Hi, everyone, and welcome to the openinPHL podcast. I'm your host, Carl,
And I'm Danielle.
and on this podcast, we share the stories of the artists, stores, restaurants, and other businesses that make Philly special. Today, we interview Aaron Deetro of Uncle Ron's Candles, a Port Richmond based candle company with unique scents like black metal coffee and return trip.
Aaron talks with us about Port Richmond, candle chemistry, and the importance of helping each other grow. Welcome, Aaron, to the Open in PHL pod.
Hi, what's up, y'all?
So we'll start at the start like we do with all of our guests. Are you from Philly?
I am born and raised. I currently live in the Port Richmond section of Philadelphia, and I grew up about a mile away in Harrogate, Kensington area, and I've been here a very long, almost 34 years.
Lifer. What
Yeah.
what made you stay in the area?
Honestly, me overthinking that I needed to keep the brand here to, uh, help it in any way. Just using the connections that I have within the city. But the goal is not to stay here. I don't hate Philadelphia. I have to get away personally. Uh, just I need to be away from concrete and maybe near some mountains.
Yeah. Do you have a place in mind?
I've been looking probably over the last few years. Few of my friends, actually, a good majority of my close friends moved to like Pacific Northwest, so like Washington and Oregon and stuff like that. And although I want to visit and hang out and stuff, I kind of want to. I've been looking towards the south and maybe even like more desert, going out west and just kind of like hunkering down there and seeing how that treats me. I need a complete opposite than what Philadelphia has to offer.
Yeah, I totally get that. I grew up in Northeast PA, so every once in a while I have to go away. I have to like be in nature where there's like no trash on the street, especially
Yeah,
right now.
it's a lot. And I have a basset hound, and his nose on trash day, just going for walks, is the absolute worst in the world. So, yeah, I think everybody needs that reset from you know, the congestion of tons of folks being around.
Yeah, for sure. You can actually see that in your branding for your candles too, that kind of
Mm.
Western influence on it. Was that purposeful?
Yeah, I kind of it's almost like my own personal little escapes. Some of the illustrations that I did for I want to say probably about a handful, maybe a little bit more of what I have currently. I drew from, if it wasn't photos that were sent to me on friends trips and stuff like that, or me just trying to mentally escape for a little bit, you know, keep it fun for uh, not only everyone else but for me as well.
Yeah, for sure. Oftentimes businesses are started out of the founder's personal need for
Oh yeah,
something.
yeah,
Um,
totally.
so when did you actually start making candles?
Honestly, I made candles. So I grew up, like I said, in Harrogate, which is a pretty poor neighborhood. So every like me and my friends and a little bit of family that I had in that area, um, we usually just did things around the holidays, as far as like making each other gifts and stuff like that. So my mom would make candles and soaps and like other stuff for our family for the holidays. And probably about 4 years ago, almost five actually, the idea came into my head again, where I was like, you know what, I'm not entirely happy with the job that I'm at now. Like maybe I'll start like a side hustle and see like how it goes. So I just like made a bunch of stuff, and I was giving them out to friends before I even like told them that I was going to at least try it. um and they loved them, which was like, at first I was like, they're my friends, they're just gonna be like, oh, these are great, you should totally do that. And I did. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see what happens. And probably like the first couple years, I want to say that first year I did like a couple markets, couple craft fests, and that was really it. And I was like, I don't know, like something just doesn't feel right. Um, and then I was like, I got to change it. So that's when I started like messing around with to try and get the brand where it is right now, which I'm pretty comfortable with. I still see some changes happening, but like I'm it took a while for me to get where I'm currently at.
Yeah, how did you change it?
So I started out using it, they looked kind of generic. They were like mini screw top mason jars. They were pretty shallow for the most part, but like all the waxes were dyed. I wasn't using wooden wicks. Each scent had a hang tag with like its scent name and stuff on there, and like the lids were like color coded by scent, so like they look cool overhead. My friend Bruno made my circle logo and the candle logo, and a lot of like the uh, really well illustrated like logo branding stuff that I use him. And he gave me like my first design, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna run with it. I'm gonna use this logo and push it as hard as I can, just to see if like people would even care enough, because I knew that like candles were like a saturated market. Like everybody who wants to do a side hustle or something like that seems like they're making candles, and I'm noticing a lot more now, which is tight. It's awesome.
That's interesting what you said about the candle space being saturated. I definitely see that. I also see that it's pretty feminized.
Mhm.
So what do you feel like is your kind of niche?
Honestly, for the most part, I let the candles kind of just talk for themselves, because I I like to think that I'm not introducing scents that are maybe too abrasive or super specific. Like I'm super picky about what I personally like to release. And I think it's super weird that like I even like in my still like the one of the last markets that I did, like I have people treat candles so weird. Like everybody doesn't enjoy something that smells good. And I have like these super broy guys that are like, oh yeah, I'm totally like I'm buying this for my girlfriend, and I'm like, cool, you don't have to say that, man. Like I before I make them. Like I'm definitely in this. So it's like it's really weird that like folks think that it has to be one thing. Like it could be whatever you want. You know what I mean? And like scent, like for me, olfactory memory is like my favorite thing. If I smell something um, that triggers a cool nostalgic memory for me, I get excited about that. And that's usually like with the scents that I pick. That's kind of how I go about things. And I feel like it's like lavender and chamomile are two of like my favorite scents like of all time. There's something that I just don't get sick of them. But they come off in most settings, especially with like big market stores promoting it this way. But they come off as feminine scents, but they don't have to be. It's fucking smells, man. That's all it is.
Yeah,
People
it's
get
weird.
weird.
Yeah, it's weird how gender comes into play with things that are seemingly neutral.
Yeah.
I think, like, at least in America, we're all just like brainwashed by Yankee Candle,
Oh yeah.
like the 3 wick, like vanilla cupcake candles that
Yeah.
your like aunt would have burning. At least my family
Yeah.
members might have had.
And then you get a headache if you're in that room for about 10 minutes, and then
Yeah,
you wish you didn't smell that vanilla cupcake anymore.
yeah, yeah. You get sick of it, sick of the cupcakes.
Aaron, are you actually an uncle?
I am. I do get that a lot. And people ask me if my name's Ron. But it actually just stemmed from an inside joke amongst coworkers from a while ago. But I am an uncle.
What job was that before?
I worked in a digital print shop here in Philly, and I was there for a while. And early on, one of my friends who used to work there called me Ronnie all the time, and then it turned into Uncle Ron. And kind of around the same time that I started doing the candles, I was like, you know what, fuck it, that kind of has a cool ring to it. I'm gonna run with it, and it stuck. I like it, and now it's like everybody calls me Ron, so I've accumulated an alias for the first time in my life unintentionally, and it's kind of funny. I like it though. It's pretty chill.
Did they happen to call you Ronnie when the Jersey Shore was popular and on MTV?
No, that was well before candles, but that a lot of memes and stuff like that were shared to me since Uncle Ron started from Ron from the Jersey Shore.
Maybe one day you can do a sub candle just for Ronnie. You can rename the label Uncle Ronnie's something.
Absolutely. It would have to be what was this girl? Samantha? Is that her
Sammy.
name?
Sammy.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be a Sammy candle. It'll be a Uncle Sammy.
Well, then it could also be a release around 4th of July, and then you could do a whole thing there.
Yeah.
Uncle
We
Sammy.
could do a Jersey Shore. See, look, we just came up with a collab and you didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
The Jersey
And maybe
Shore
the
collab.
scent could be some type of sandwich based around
like
New
a
Jersey.
hoagie.
Like a hoagie.
Yeah. Not for nothing, dude. Definitely a hoagie.
Yeah. To match your hoagie mouth.
Yeah, I would absolutely do that. 100%.
Okay.
We could just call it hoagie mouth, and it can smell like an assortment of cheeses and processed meat.
with a little bit of like banana peppers in it.
Yeah, just a little bit though.
Have you done any Philly centric scents?
No, not that I can think of. No, I personally kind of steer clear of that type of niche stuff. Because I am from I am from the era of John where we actually used it on a daily basis, and now when I see it on a shirt, it's just like it bothers me. It bothers me so much. I hate it. I hate seeing it. It's always, it's like some Midwest brand or something that infiltrated the Philly market in their own way, and I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird thing now. So I kind of steer clear of the Philly theme stuff. I did do. Okay, that's kind of a lie. I did do Sixers candles twice. So one for me, and then one for another friend's podcast where we did water ice flavors, and that was funny. It worked out.
I would like a water ice candle.
Yeah, maybe that can come back again sometime, but
summer 2021.
There you go.
So you have some very unique scents, such as black metal coffee, return trip, and the infamous fuck bugs. How do you come up with the scents and their names?
Honestly, scents are lately what they are is they're tested through the Burn Box program that I do, which is a subscription through Patreon. I don't know if I ever told you guys that, but yeah, I do a subscription box every month for $20 where you get like 3 4-ounce candle tins and 15% off my web store if you're a subscriber. And I'll mix some scents from my line, some random one-off scents that I think are going to be fun for the box. And I also pretty much crowdsource some scents, see what people think. Like I think before I did the banana bread, brownie batter, and the blueberry cobbler, I did a burn box. And at that time I had, a little over 80 subscribers, and they were flooding me with feedback. It's like, please, like, I need a bigger version of this. I pretty much have 2 reliable suppliers that I use for my oils because they're all chemical free. And I like to keep it that way. But honestly, it's a day of a scent popping in my head the night before, and then the next day I'm just playing around with fragrance and essential oils to see if something sticks. And a lot of times it doesn't, and I waste a lot of supplies, but it's worth it.
That's
You
your
gotta try
R&D.
those ideas. Yeah.
Why not?
That's such a great concept to get people's feedback and figure out what's going to work on a larger scale. I'm gonna have to look up that burn box because I
Yeah.
am extremely interested in this.
Yeah. If you go to my website, it's in the menu section. It has its own little tab. It'll redirect you right there. And I would say, if don't do it until the first of the month, unless you want to get charged twice. That's my only thing. I don't know how to control that. But I always
God.
like the people who end up subscribing later in the month if my supplies are depleted, which it kind of happens a little bit more now because it's hard to get supplies, given the state of the world. But even if I can't make that burn box that month to get it out, I'll candles are the same price. Like, you can pick a candle out of the shop, or you can wait and I'll give you like 2 boxes next month. It always, you don't lose that money, but if you don't want to spend $40 out the gate for one of these boxes before you even know what they are, I would probably wait until the first.
Noted. I'll have to put it on the calendar for next week.
Hell yeah.
Do you have any rejected scents?
I had a couple that I don't mess with anymore. I'm trying to think of the it'll come back to me in the worst time. That's how my brain works. Probably like when we're close to ending this, I'll be like, oh yeah, that one scent that I absolutely hate it. Yeah, I can't think of it right now. But yeah, there's definitely been a few that I just hate it so much that I just didn't want to have. Even though I mixed those scents, I didn't want the scents that I mixed in with it around anymore. Like, it made me, I hated it. It was just like, I don't know. I hate when things smell artificial.
Yeah.
I think that's what like gets me the most. So like, you end up in a Target and you're in the candle aisle and you're smelling those candles and you're like, okay, this says it's like cucumber and sage and lemon. I don't smell any of those things. That's weird. It just smells like some cheap cleaner or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. But I usually don't. I don't let the scents out into the world unless I actually like them. Even the ones that I'm trying to get an opinion on through like the burn boxes. I don't know. I have like I set personal goals with myself where I just can't let crap out of my studio.
Yeah,
I won't do it.
It all reflects on you, so that makes total sense.
Yeah, the brand's me. It's as me as it's ever going to be, and that's the only thing I can do about it. It's just, if it stinks, I throw it away and forget about it, and I'll start over on something else.
Yeah. What is that process like of mixing the oils and coming up with new scents?
It's super easy, honestly. It's like the whole process is pretty much melting your wax, whatever type of wax that you're using. I use only soy wax right now, and figuring out the best time to add your fragrances. If you're using dyes, adding your dyes, figuring out the temperature to add those to the candle before you, because each oil has flash points. If you put it in too hot, they're going to burn out. If you put it in too cool, it may just sink to the bottom, or what they call like your cold throw. So like before the candle's lit, that's your cold throw. And a lot of times you notice it in like a Dollar General candle or something like that. You smell it and it's like, oh, that doesn't smell too bad, and then you start to burn it and then there's no scent the rest of the way because it's just the scent was loaded at the wrong time, and it either dropped to the bottom or just floated to the top, and then you're just burning unscented wax for the most part all the way down. So it's understanding your wax type, it's understanding your oils and where you're getting them from and what's in them. And same with your dyes. Dyes typically won't cause a huge reaction. I personally don't like them because they're not fully natural just yet, but some companies are working on some stuff, so things could change later. But yeah, it's very straightforward. You're melting your wax, you're adding your fragrance, and then you're letting it cure. I like to do for a week. So what I'll do is I'll make, at this point, because of COVID and stuff like that. I make my candles on, say, like a Monday. I'll put the shop up on a Wednesday. They don't ship out until a Friday. All the candles are made. Gives me enough time to uh, pack the orders up, and they continue to cure for another 2 days or so in transit. So you really only have to let a soy. I'll only speak on soy. Let a soy candle cure for about 24 hours before you can burn it. But the longer, the better.
That's fascinating because I've definitely bought like cheap candles before that, you smell them in the store and they're supposed to be like vanilla or something. And
Mhm.
then you get home and you just don't smell anything.
Yeah. It's probably because of, when their oils were actually added to the wax, and then you're just burning whatever wax it is. And a lot of time, like, those cheaper candles are probably made with paraffin, which is like runoff from like petroleum and stuff like that. And there's like
Yeah.
soot in it and shit. It's just really gross. And you have to take into consideration that you're burning that stuff off still. It might be mild, but you're still burning it off and you're breathing that in. So
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
it's weird.
gross.
Yeah. It's
That's
definitely gross.
disgusting. I haven't bought cheap candles in a long time, like since I became a fully formed adult, but
Yeah. Oh man, I fell victim to it too. I mean, that was the whole reason, like the other part of the reason why I started doing this, because I was sick of like uh even the supposedly the better higher end candles that they sell in like the big box stores and stuff like that. They're incredibly abrasive, and there's way too much fragrance in them, or like the oils that they're using are too strong, and for whatever reason they I don't know why they do this. I mean, uh, you gotta understand that like people, for the most part, are burning these candles in small to medium sized rooms at best. So like when you're buying those giant candles, like say from Yankee, like the 3 wick ones you mentioned earlier, that's like meant for like a maybe a living room, like a big living room or
yeah.
something. Or I mean, in my experience, that can like fill a hole downstairs and probably an upstairs of a house, which is nice. Um, but they beat my head up. I hate them. I got candle beef. Damn you, Yankee.
I figured that you would have some strong feelings
Yeah.
about Yankee.
Yeah. You know, small batch candle maker, got beef with the big guys. It's gonna happen.
So you're both online and wholesale. Which business is bigger for you?
Online. Before COVID, I was racking up a lot of some shops in the city and stuff like that. And I have had other shops hit me up recently, but um, it's kind of like I don't expect it so much from folks right now, and a lot of businesses. I can understand why they're a little hesitant taking on more product. Um, but online is my uh that's the way. That's the way that I do it. It affects me directly. I do like having my stuff in shops. And I will have next week I'll have a bunch of stuff in Pretty Green terrariums, which I think is in South Philly.
Oh,
Uh
cool.
which is pretty tight. They're really sweet people, and they have an awesome shop, and I'm excited to have that stuff in there. But yeah, I think online it's me. It's all me. So it's like I don't have any middleman. I'm not doing consignment. I'm not, you know, I'm not worrying about somebody else pushing my brand. I know that I have to do all the work, and I'm fine with that. It's like I'm not leaning on anybody. Um, but I think now, more so, it's starting to pick up again. I think people are getting a little more comfortable and understanding that they can take more stuff in. Oh, I do have a bunch of stuff in a spot in Nashville, which is pretty sick. It's called Gift Horse, and I believe the woman who owns it, Jessica, she may be a Philly native or a Philly area native, or she's lived in Philly before, like a long time before moving to Nashville. But she's a total sweetheart, and uh, I love that Nashville loves Uncle Ron's a whole lot, because it's really cool. Like the people who have reached out, um, just about the candles, just because they felt like they needed to, and just compliment me on the work that I'm doing. It makes me feel good that people are actually getting excited about this stuff, because every release, like, I get pumped. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, it's not about me just like forcing, like, I'm not forcing ads on people. I'm not forcing a bunch of crap on people. I'm not like posting a million times a day and like just draining folks, because I know how that affects me. Um, so it's really cool when people take it out of the blue to say nice things to folks instead of yelling at them through words on Yelp.
Oh yeah, those
I don't even
online reviews
Yeah, I
can
don't
be
even know if
brutal.
Uncle Ron's has, like, I never made a Yelp thing, and I don't know if Uncle Ron's even has any feedback on there, if it's even possible. I don't even know how that shit works, but
Yeah,
it would
I
be
don't think
hilarious.
I don't think you would, because you're not a brick and mortar. I think
True.
they only do brick and mortars.
Solid.
So you're safe.
I'm
Say
spared for now.
That
Yeah.
means I'm safe too.
Yes. See, there's a way around this system, this shitty
Yeah.
system of Yelp.
Oh yeah. Customers not always right. I think a lot of people are realizing that.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, it sucks that it takes like a pandemic for people to realize that now. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think people need to understand that, and also to understand who you're dealing with, because I've had customers reach out like a day after placing an order and like, hey, like, I was just wondering if this went out and like where it's at. And I'm like, man, you get a tracking number and you can look that up. You don't have to hit me up directly, and you got to know it's like, I'm one person. Like, I'm one just single person. That's it. I am the owner operator of Uncle Ron's. And the reason why I do things in small batches is because I am building a way to, have a bigger workspace, to pump out a lot more product, and maybe actually have like back inventory. But like right now, everything is just by batch. I put a batch up a week, and if it goes, it goes. If not, the scents that are still around, like, I still have a couple from last week, still hanging around. But like, I can only work in small batches, so before anybody wants to start shaking their fist at the sky and wondering where their candles are, they're on the way. They're gonna show up. They'll be there.
I sometimes have the same issues with
Yeah.
my product. I am just one person. Some days I can't go to the post office. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a bummer. I don't know if you know this is, well, you can, no matter what the size is or how many packages you have, you can schedule pickups to your home.
is that
And
free?
it's free. It's absolutely free. USPS, man, the best in the game forever and ever. The postman that's on my route who picks up like my stuff, he comes by when he says he's going to come by. Even sometimes I don't even have to schedule the pickup. He just like, he'll stop by, ring a doorbell, and see if I have anything, just to check. And that kind of service you're not getting from UPS or FedEx or anything like that.
So, in addition to the USPS workers, who I kind of think they're an intern of yours in a way, they're helping you out, they're
Mhm.
making sure stuff gets done. Are
For sure.
there any plans to hire additional people?
I mean, I hope it gets there. I don't know if I'll do it in the city, but I would love to be able to do that. I would love to be able to expand the brand, because it was never meant to just be candles. I mean, at first it was, but uh, kind of early on, it's like I just want to turn it into something more than that. Maybe a lifestyle brand. I wanted people to know, you know, if they went over a friend's house and they saw like an Uncle Ron's product, like, oh man, that's cool. You got like an Uncle Ron's candle in there. It's like, yeah, you do. You do have an Uncle Ron's candle in there. It's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I do want to expand though. It would be cool to be able to do that. I think I want to build my own workspace. So I think the objective right now is to ride this out on my own for as long as I can, physically and mentally handle it. Um, and then once I'm able to settle down elsewhere, and build a space that can work for me, and not pay Philly's high rent fees. um, I'll definitely look into doing that.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I would buy like a hat with your logo on it, or I
I
don't know.
did make one as a test, about a year and a half ago, and it actually came out kind of sick. It was the candle logo that's next to my big dumb head, but it was that just embroidered on like a dad hat or whatever, and it looked kind of sick. So maybe that would happen again
That would be
sometime soon.
cool. Or
That'd be
like,
fun.
oh, like an Uncle Ron's back patch.
I see that's doable. That's definitely doable.
That
I
would
thought
be
about
cool.
doing totes.
Yeah.
I was gonna have my partner sew them so they're all just like, one of a kind, and I can have a couple different sizes because she actually has, I think she has a screen and a lot of like screen printing stuff, so we can probably go DIY with it and print our own stuff. But I think that it's starting to get to the point where uh, people are actually talking about apparel and stuff like that, and maybe because I've done like 2 runs of shirts, they went over pretty well, but the first one took a while, the second one moved a little bit faster, and now I actually have people reaching out, like, oh man, I'd wear uh like a little like a pair of running shorts with like the Burn One logo on it. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I would never think to do that because that's like so far away from candles that I'm like, that's okay. Noted. I'll put that in the back and catch up on it later, cuz I mean, it's not a bad idea, you know. I don't
Yeah, running shorts are hot right now.
I've noticed. I've had way too many people hit me up about them, and one, it is really cool, but at the same time it's like kind of, I don't think I would ever reach out to a candle company and be like, "Hey, you gonna make running shorts?" It's
Oh,
like, nah.
that's a testament to Uncle Ron's
Yeah.
brand.
Hey, see, this is it. This is what I want people to think of me and the brand. It's like, yeah, I will make you running shorts. Do you want an Uncle Ron's puka shell necklace? I'll make it happen. I'm here for you. That'll be that can go with the Jersey Shore candles.
Yes. I actually went on your Twitter, which is like from your website,
My
and
condolences.
I saw something I really liked. You said leveling up doesn't have to be competition. We can all grow together. So I was
Fucking
wondering
right.
if there was something that prompted that thought.
Not so much. It was more seeing some other brands that I follow, and if it's not a brand, it's like I see like bands doing it. I see a lot of people trying to like shit on others for no reason, no gain, no nothing. It clearly comes off as them being threatened in a way, like their brand is going to get encroached on by another. So maybe if you try to knock them down or maybe like speak ill on their name, somebody will see it and then they'll relay that message. It's the power of the internet. You can say whatever the fuck you want and people are going to be like, well, I did read it on Twitter, so could be real. It's probably real. Yeah, it never has to be that way. Like I have people who message me on a daily basis almost where they're like, oh, I was actually thinking about getting into, like, I want to try and make my own candles. And I'm like, you absolutely should. Like, how can I help you? Like, is this just for you? Do you plan on doing something with it? Like, hit me up for resources. I do not care. I will absolutely like share any and all knowledge that I have, because why the fuck not? Like, we're all in this for the same reasons. We're all just trying to exist, and it's kind of a bummer that people forget how to be human these days. And it doesn't take much to just, you know, respond to somebody who likes what you're doing and answer their simple questions. It takes no time out of your day to do that. And it's like I try to tell people that all the time. It's like our phones are on us all the time. We have them around all the time. It doesn't take, if I see an email pop up and somebody has a question about anything, about an order, about life. I don't care. And it doesn't take long for me to respond. At most, it's going to be like, what, 5 minutes? 5 minutes to write something that's not just like thoughtless and, just trying to like answer the question and move on. It's 5 minutes out of your day to just respond to one person. It's really not that deep. And I feel like a lot of people lose that. Just transparency and being friendly and, trying to keep things moving for others is rewarding in itself. There's no reason to, like, if your brand is well and you believe in your products and you believe in what you're doing, it's going to do great. You don't have to knock anybody down to get there. We can all be buds. We can all be buds.
Totally. And it should be that way too. And I think there are so many other things that go into running a business. Just like knowing how to make a basic product is like ground level.
Yep.
Then you have to add everything else on top. So if somebody is just, making their own candle or making their own like cookie or something, that doesn't mean that they're going to be your direct competition,
No.
because it's a slog.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, if you feel as though you can, say hypothetically this person, posted their batch of cookies that they made, and you're like, you know what, they could probably be a little softer if you just do this one thing or whatever. Like, reach out, just be like, hey, I can help a little bit, and if they're receptive to it, they're going to be thankful. There is the alternative of people being like, oh, I don't need you to tell me what to do. And it's like, no, that's true. I'm not telling you what to do. I just want to lend a little hand, a little pat on the back. Like, hey, let's make these cookies better.
Yeah.
It's not hard, man. People are weird.
It's true. I think it's a matter of mindset too, because if you have like a lack mindset, you're going to think that everybody's trying to like get on your jack and like, trying to take things from you, when in reality it's not the case. But if you have more of an abundance mindset, then you're just going to automatically be more generous with your time and your knowledge and resources, because you're secure in yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And I wasn't always where I am now, like, especially growing up in the inner city of Philadelphia, where, every day was a look over your shoulder or keep your guard up forever because you can't trust anybody. It took a lot out of me to let my guard down and be much more open with folks that I didn't know, because I just assumed that every stranger was out to like get me in some way, which is the worst possible mindset that you can have, because people aren't that shitty, despite what like the media tells everyone. There's a lot of shitty folks for sure. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of times people, sometimes it's just maybe their demeanor, they just, I know I get it a lot. People think I can come off as, angry sometimes, which is not the case at all. It's my face is stupid. I can't help it. It's like sometimes I just look mad. I'm not. It's just I have a dumb face, and we're just gonna have to get past that. Just, we can all build each other up. We could all be better buds. That's gonna be the Uncle Ron's slogan 2024 when I'm running for president. Be better buds.
Be better buds.
I love the alliteration.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely sticky.
See, that's going to be the next t-shirt. Just be better buds.
Maybe it'll have something to do with the legalization of marijuana that Governor Wolf is pushing for.
Exactly. And then I can factor in the return trip candle. It's all full cycle.
Full circle here. I love it. Love it. You heard it here first, folks.
Right? You got the scoop.
openinPHL exclusive.
Right?
Hindsight is 2020. What advice would you give to your former self when you were just starting?
Don't overthink anything. If it feels right the first time, it's probably a good idea. I overthought almost I second guessed every decision I made, and almost kicked myself in the ass every single time I did that. And it wasn't up until probably the last like 4 years, where I really was just like, you know what? if it felt good that first time, if you got that excited that first time, then it was probably a good idea. So now I've just been doing that with everything associated with Uncle Ron's, and I've been happier for it, and it seems like people are, happy that at least the brand feels like a sense of normalcy. Like, I'm not trying to just sell people shit all the time. I can be a friend too, it's not, it's really not hard. I would absolutely tell myself to not second guess or overthink any of my situation, just kind of keep things moving.
It's a good perspective.
That's usually what holds people back too, is just the inability to take action.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't force it on anyone. They kind of have to figure out their own way of doing it for them to be comfortable in that as well. So it's just like, big your pals up, root for them. If they have cool shit going on, even if you don't think it's the coolest thing ever, talk to them about it. Tell them it's dope. Try to help talk to them and like figure out ways to like maybe help them succeed within any venture that they're taking. It doesn't take much to talk to people about anything. I feel like that's the one thing that I'm taking from quarantine and this pandemic is like, I should have been engaging more with people, and now that I am, even if it is like this, it's still very worth it, and it's important, and more people should take advantage of the ways that we can stay in touch and just feed off of each other. Uncle Ron's for the people. I everyone needs to know that.
2024.
Yeah. it's happening. It's all happening.
Where do you hope to take the business in 1 year and in 5 years?
I want to double whatever I'm doing the previous year, the following year. That's my, if I can maximize, inventory. Like right now, if I'm only working out of my house, next year, I want to work out of a warehouse or something that I built, and a working studio, a workspace that actually like can be functional. I don't know where I see Uncle Ron's. I just know that I want it to be way more than candles, and candles are just the first step. So it's like, get through this, get this going until it feels great, and then I'll start focusing more energy on making it more of a lifestyle branding, and bringing it into a different group of people's lives. Even though everyone loves candles, I mean, you can't really hate on candles, but yeah, I just want to be better than I was the year before every year. That's my personal beef with myself. Be better, buds.
Emphasis on the be better.
Yeah, you got to be better, man. We all have to be better.
What upcoming things do you want people to know about? Do you have any like new partners coming on, or any new initiatives?
I think people should definitely know about the artist donation program that I started. So it doesn't have to be, like an actual like artist or maker, creative, anything. Anybody who wants to donate to a specific organization or charity, hit me up with a label. Nothing larger than 3 by 3 inches, and we'll pick a cent, and I'll sell the candles and donate. I sell them for $20 on my website, and then I donate $10 from every candle to whatever organization the artist or whoever donated the label's choice. So the whole point of those candles is to pretty much fund the next batch. It's usually a month-long pre-order. So I'll be issuing another one in September, and I think I'm pretty much booked with these until January right now. But I'll just throw up a pre-order, see how many we sell, and we just try to raise money for people who can actually use it. But I do have 2 new scents that are coming in September, and I'm gonna be issuing a couple new products with those scents. I might be doing matching runs of soap as well, and since I can't bring my air spray or my aerosols back, which is room sprays that I do, because spray nozzles are impossible to come by right now. I am making Uncle Ron's reeds, and I'll have reed diffusers, and they hold up for like 4 months. If you don't want, a flame burning in your house, you can just buy one of these, and it'll hang out for a while, and you can forget about it.
That's awesome, because a lot of people have kids too, and they don't like candles because of the children or whatever else. So
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, I did wax melts before, and I had more questions of people asking me what they were than actually buying them. So I kind of just let that go, but it might come back. I think I'm gonna try to look into making like some custom melters that I can like sell as well. So people who don't understand what they are can just get a little bundle from me and try it out and see how they like it.
That's awesome.
So we're gonna borrow the flame from the candle and finish off with these rapid fire questions. You can answer with as much detail as you want, or just give a one-word answer. Does that sound good?
Cool. Let's go.
All right. The candle you are most proud of?
Dune's my favorite one. It smells like cactus flower and aloe, and it's watery, and there's something about it that I can't stop smelling it.
What's the best ice cream in the city?
In this city? Oh man, Somerset Splits.
Yeah, Port Richmond represent.
I'm repping the dogs, man. I'm here for my people.
What's your favorite flavor?
Statistic, like all time. I'm
from Somerset.
From Somerset, probably I like the Elvis Sundae that they do. It's really good. It's like peanut butter ice cream, I believe, or vanilla ice cream, banana, peanut butter drizzle, some combination of that. It's fantastic. I just eat it. I don't. It's usually gone in 4 bites. So,
well, we'll have to take a trip there.
You should. You absolutely should.
Favorite tourist attraction or museum?
We're gonna keep it local again. Graffiti Pier. It's the most genuine thing about Philly still. It's so genuine. Yeah, there's just something about it. It's still
for sure.
Endearing in some ways, and I don't know. I had a lot of fun growing up and having some kegs there and really appreciating that area. So everyone should see it at least once.
What's the most rewarding thing about owning a business?
Meeting people. Honestly, I would have never said that about 10 years ago, but meeting new folks has been my favorite thing. I made some really, really sweet connections with just normal folks that want to have conversation and nothing else. Like even if it's not about the brand, like I encourage folks reaching out. If you just want to shoot the shit, I'm here for it. I don't care.
That's great. I might be asking you some questions about business ownership, since I feel like I also work in a similar fashion to you as a sole owner operator.
I'm here. If I have any insight that I can offer to anyone, I'll share whatever I have. If it's useful, awesome. If it's not, that's cool too.
What should they do with the Frank Rizzo statue?
I would honestly dunk it head first into the Schuylkill and then maybe like pee on it or something. I don't know. There's probably enough in the Schuylkill for that to happen. Fuck that guy forever.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at with it. Fuck that statue too.
The statue will grow a third eye.
Yeah, the Schuylkill's a very Simpson-esque river for sure.
Yeah, Blinky. All right. So, Uncle Ron, where can people find you and your candles?
You can hit up uncleronscandles.com. You can find all my info there. If you'd rather just go to Instagram, you can find me at Uncle Ron's Candles on Instagram. And if you want a candid perspective of what Uncle Ron's brain is like, you can follow my Twitter, which is burn1, the number 4, and Ron. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have. That's all me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, for sure. This is awesome.
Cool.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, no problem.
There are so many gems in this episode.
Aaron has potentially won the first award of openinPHL. Did you know that?
What award?
He is the first person to actually be from Philly.
Right. Yeah. Port Richmond, represent.
Shout out Riverwards Cafe.
Yeah, we have to go back there again. We haven't been back there since I lived in Fishtown.
It's interesting because I'm now reading a Stephen King book, and the last time we were there, I was reading another Stephen King book.
Wow, it really is full circle.
Yeah.
Life's so weird.
I think it's because of the magical force Graffiti Pier has.
Do you think it has like a magnetic field around it?
It's definitely got something there in the graffiti, all the fumes that have been intertwined into the concrete that's there.
Maybe there's a portal to another universe.
Well, originally they were planning on calling it Portal Richmond, not Port Richmond.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they left on the Death Star. So it's a sad story of what it could have been on Graffiti Pier, but still a wonderful place if you haven't been before.
Well, now I'm on the Uncle Ron's site. I think I'm going to participate in the burn box because candles are becoming really important to me right now as we spend more time at home. And I've burned through the one that I had before.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah, make it a point. Check out Uncle Ron's website, become a member of his Patreon.
Yeah, and if Philly keeps underfunding the sanitation workers, then we're going to need something to take the edge off when garbage pickup is a week late.
We're going to need an even larger candle to get rid of the bugs. And I know Uncle Ron's got it. So make sure that you support him through his website or DM him if you have any questions on anything, it sounds like, because he's that approachable. Make sure you check out his Patreon. Since you're going to have to smell a bunch of things in your life, why not have your house smell great? If you want to support the podcast, you can follow us on Instagram at openinPHLpod. You can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Podbean, or YouTube. And if you know anybody in the Philadelphia area that you would love to hear on the podcast, or just to let us know what you think, shoot us an email at openinphlpod@gmail.com.
You can also DM us on Instagram at openinPHLpod. That would be convenient too. All right, well, we will talk to you next week.
We will. And I'm going to plug in my laptop because it's almost dead. See ya.
Great, bye.